the budget deficit, what it means for people and stocks, and what about its implications on the future. I'm Peter Switzer, and I'm very mad about money. Yep, I'm by myself today, but my level of madness is at fever pitch levels. Why? Because we've got some great news on the budget deficit, and the media just doesn't want to celebrate it. You know, Sydney Morning Herald, no mention in the top headlines. Fairfax's AFR, well, they actually mentioned that tax collections will help spending around the election, not celebrating the good news that the budget deficit's coming down. And then I looked at, well, the Australian did actually point out that this was a great achievement for the budget deficit, but there's not enough celebration about this achievement, and that's what I'm really mad about. Think about this. A year ago a little bit more, May 2017, when they were looking at the 2017-18 budget on budget night, they thought that the budget deficit was going to be $29 billion. Hold that figure in your head. Then only 4 months ago, before the end of the financial year, they thought it would be, wait for it, 18 billion, good improvement. Well, it turns out it ends up being $10 billion. That's an enormous $19 billion drop over the course of the year. Now, why did it happen? Because we had, well, did Malcolm Turnbull and Scott Morrison promise this? Jobs and growth. That's exactly what we needed. That's what we got. And that's why the budget deficit's coming down. And if this economy keeps growing at those rates and the jobs keep on coming through, we will see the budget deficit get close to balance and maybe even close to budget surplus next financial year, which will be an enormous story for Scott Morrison to take to the election and the polls, which I think will be in May 18. But will people listen? And will the media celebrate it? Look, politicians deserve to be pilloried, but when they get it right, they should be given a tick. Even if they've got other things wrong, we know that the Libs have got a lot of things wrong, but this has been a good part of the story and has serious implications on people and stocks. Now, there's no bell ringing today, so let me go to people and stocks. The fact that the budget deficit is actually improving means that, guess what? There will be more jobs. And as the jobs keep growing, next happens, wage rises, something that people are really annoyed about. By the way, consumer confidence keeps on rising, and that is linked to the fact that wages and the jobs are actually on the improve. So if we get this continuation of jobs growth, employment growth, wages growth, what we're going to see is a strong corporate sector as well, and stock prices will go up. Now, it's going to be really important that we need the US economy to keep on growing. Goldman Sachs came out last week and said they worried about a recession in 3 years' time. If we can have 3 years of jobs and growth, the budget deficit rolls into the surplus territory for a couple of years at least, and when the next recession comes, guess what? We will be in a strong position again in relation to our debt, and of course the budget surpluses have helped governments in the future to be able to deal with a recession. Okay, I heard the bell, forget it. The important point is we are heading in the right direction on so many fronts, and it should be celebrated. So, to the future. All of this, I think, leaves us in a very good situation. I think the argument is that the budget's getting better, surpluses are on the way, it's good for, if a GFC comes along again, it'll be easier for us to borrow. It's great for Australia's AAA rating, which a lot of other governments haven't got. It also means that if Bill Shorten wins the election, he's going to actually have a really good budgetary situation, which I think is an enormous and very charitable gift from Scott Morrison to Bill Shorten. I'm Peter Switzer, and I'm less mad about money after getting all that out.